Hi, I'm Anna E. Salas. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Patreon Sage. Let's talk about the Unforgiven Mother. If you've watched my videos and you're looking at my Patreon page, you know that we're in a very major template clearing right now for the collective, having to do with the lineage, the matriarchal lineage of the Unforgiven Mother, which has unfortunately been aligned with Team Dark. Now, I checked my journals yesterday. I wanted to see when did I begin looking at this issue. And I thought it was about a week ago, but when I read back through my journals, I've been side glancing at this issue of the Unforgiven Mother since August. And I've been building up my strength and getting reconnected to my guidance because 2019 has been quite the year for um, having to pay very close attention to what's happening around you, inside of you, for you, with you. And if you're someone who's used to ongoing flow that just happens fairly easily, it's been interesting for me to observe how in this last year, a tremendous amount of individual group workflow that was established in 2016, 2017, and 2018 when I was talking about the awakening journey from my perspective. And I began doing that in 2016 when I was given the information because I am plugged into direct connection to source that has been it's been tested. The Team Dark has tried to break it, to sever it, to break me, to sever me, to corral me, to make me invisible, to shut down my voice, to block my information. And this was what 2019 has mostly been about. So, working with the Dark Mother, the word has to get out, and an understanding of the experience and an understanding of this Team Dark template and how we're dismantling it. This cannot be repaired. This has to go. Which is why, as you continue to expand and do your work and expand and do your work and expand, when you're truly connected to Source and you're aligned with Gaia in all of her consciousness, you become a threat to the AI Toth. I will spell that for you. THOTH. Intentionality to take over all of the 3D construct. And really, you can use human beings as creative batteries. We carry tremendous amounts of information. We actually have creative intelligence, and we're if somebody gets a hold of us to use us, they've really struck gold. So I want to begin by inviting you to do a couple of things, and I will do a card reading associated with this. Looking at this Unforgiven Mother head on, feeling the feelings of being in the grasp, the clutches of this dark feminine with her negative intentionality to kill her own children. Now, there's a long story involved here. I'm going to do a couple things. First, I'm going to direct you to the book. You may already know it. You may have already read it, but there'll be many people who are just waking up who haven't read it, but who are feeling that we're in a global crisis. and they understand perhaps the energy dynamics of being in that global cosmos from the point of view of the Earth's resources. They understand it from perhaps a psychological perspective, political perspective. But far too many people don't realize what's happening from the spiritual perspective. And as long as you're running around, spinning around on the calendar wheel that's been created by Thoth and his cronies in this environment, and I can tell you in a webinar who these beings are. Some of you may be familiar with the term Illuminati. The Illuminati are the rats on the ship. Okay. We all need to understand that we have been living, human beings have been, we were literally hijacked, abducted, and we've been chained to a slave ship for thousands of years. Initially, this process was reserved for a chosen few who had to live out a life sentence as a slave to wealth, to power, to religion, whatever. And as the collective consciousness is breaking free, many of us who have dynamic genetics that include lots of DNA from lots of different tribes of people, we woke up to the fact, or, like 2011, 2010, 2013, 2012, through the grace of Source and the grace of Gaia, that we are living on a gigantic slave ship that is floating through space. That's a lot to wrap your mind around. Really, and let your body feel that. And then compare and contrast what happens in your day, what you do, what you choose. Tick tock, day by day by day, you are a slave to the Thoth system of clock time. Unless you are fully expressing your indigenous genetics, Native American, African. Let's say we could be talking about also the Inuit. We could be talking about the indigenous cultures in places like the Altai in Russia, the Yanomami in South America, right? So if you are blessed with those genetics, then you're going to be much more conscious about what's happening right now than people who don't have those genetics. Why? Because those genetics are harder to suppress in terms of any kind of glimmer of a recognition of being connected to the source of all life, the great circle of life. So that's what that's about. Okay, and over the years, there have been mind control experiments. And you can look this up, and if you think this is fantasy, that's fine. Just skip all of this. But places like the Tavistock Institute in England, and then there's the whole issue of eugenics, right? They have done the experiments. People, listen, human beings, listen up. Now would be a really good time for you to make your sovereign choice to refuse to be used in a social experiment to benefit corporations like Facebook and IBM and Microsoft and Apple and Amazon, right? You're involved not only in an open air concentration camp, we are on a slave ship that is hurtling through space. And most, you can feel, you hear people talking about drudgery and I hate my job and let me just get through it. Let me just get through the day. Let me go out and have a beer. Let me maybe have a nice dinner and once every couple of months. Slave ship mentality. Okay? Now, um, here's the really cool thing. When, and it is a when, we all, human beings on the planet, the majority of us, it doesn't even have to be a majority, when our consciousness awakens, okay, the slave ship will be abandoned. It has been abandoned by the big upper players, the big upper level players have abandoned this ship, or they're dead. This made me so sick. Every day I'm dumping dead guano. Dumping dead light that's been accumulated since I was in utero. Whoa, this is super toxic stuff we're dealing with. So I'm talking to you about the Unforgiven Mother because I'm going to present that to you so you have a choice. If you choose to remain unawakened, unaware, and just feeling frustrated and sort of numb and dead inside, okay, that's your agreement. You want to stay on the slave ship ride. You have fear will, not free will. We have fear will. And it is most often our fear that underlies some of the choices we make, the subconscious, the unconscious operating in the fear space, bubbles up to your conscious mind and says, hey, how about a piece of chocolate? Right? It distracts you from the energies and the evidence all around you that would absolutely wake you up if you would just look at it with clear, open eyes and an open heart. Now, this is very hard to do. I've been on this journey, 30 years now. And this last week has totally kicked my ass. And I have tools. I have great tools and resources. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Check out the book, Not in His Image, John Lamb Lash. We need to connect the dots. The Unforgiven Mother is a myth, quote, a myth or a story of creation that talks about the fall of the goddess or the Aeon Sophia from the center of our galaxy. Okay, now here's the thing. You're going to make a list with 2 columns. On one column, you're gonna note these movies: The Last Jedi, The Matrix, all 3 movies, and you can fast forward through the violent stuff. I can't bear to watch it anymore. Lucy, yeah, okay, and Arrival. So in a sense, I'm giving you this homework, and I've got a conscious co-creation masterclass coming up online on October 22nd. That's next week. That's next Tuesday. I hope I will be truly, fully well by then. But I have to work out. I have to release all of this dead light energy. And it's been in there a while. Because we were all of us born of a woman and of a man, a human mother and father, sperm and egg. Very few escape being gestated in a womb sac that isn't contaminated. Okay, so I know this is really hard to look at, but you're brave. We're light workers. You're star seeds. I'm so old, it's ridiculous. I've been here so many times, it's ridiculous. And I'm clear about what I'm doing here. And what I'm doing here is what I'm doing with you right now. Okay. So that's, you're going to have some films to look at. You're going to have a book. And then I'm going to do an online webinar on Saturday, which is the 20th. to talk with you more about the Unforgiven Mother and some of the ways that you can clear this energy from you. Okay, and I'm using everything I've got, and it's still incredibly challenging and toxic. So one of the things, the key things that you want to do is to have a witness, a buddy, a person you can to, talk this through. First, align yourselves with Source. When two or more are gathered, Source is able to be present. Yeah? So, as you're getting your movies lined up, as you're seeing if you can get Not in His Image from the library, connect with either a friend who you know you can talk about and trust who will understand this. You can reach out to me. There are not a lot of people right now on the planet who would be able to help you with this. And you have to understand that the Thoth system includes all of these so-called resources that are absolutely in place to keep you on the slave ship. The methods, the recommendations. Now, in the last, 10 years or so, some truth has bubbled up into the human collective through the grace of Source and the grace of Gaia. So I will tell you there are coaches who are teaching mindfulness work who have no heart and very little integrity or consciousness around relationship. They know the practice. They know how to create a structure so you can do the practice and you can obey the rules doing the practice. Well, when you do that, you're just buying back into the Unforgiven Mother, who's all about supplying structure that is contaminated and getting you hooked on it so that you will continue with the Thoth, THOTH program. Another one you want to be awake to is Metatron and Melchizedek. Okay, and Fibonacci, please. All of these patterns have been slightly distorted, and they are creating a parallel reality, and most of you are in it. And you're trying to figure out how to get out. Now, if you don't have this basic information, you're not going to get out. You're going to continue seeking. What's the answer? And in that, you're going to be a lot like Neo in the Matrix. That's okay. Eventually, someone's going to show up. Your version of a Trinity is going to show up and say, hey, I know that you want to know. Let me take you to the connection to Source. Let me take you to divine guidance. In the Matrix series, the Oracle represents the consciousness, the planetary consciousness of Gaia. Now, okay, so this is your homework. Another one that I hope I mentioned, Lucy. I think I did. Arrival, Lucy, 3 Matrix films. That will get you started. Now, for all intents and appearances, feminine energy has been deceived into believing that men run the show. They don't. They have hijacked our creative energy. They have hijacked our source spark. They have hijacked quite a large collective of women that they then have aligned with the Dark Mother, Unforgiven Mother lineage. So that will be another video. But for now, this is the one I want you to think about. In my blog post on my Patreon page, the first blog post where I introduce taking a full frontal glance at the Unforgiven Mother, you can find this information. I don't know, when did I post that? Maybe October 12th. Look for it, you'll find it. It's on Patreon page, it's free. And then join me in the webinar that I'm going to do on YouTube on Saturday. And I may still sound like this because I am releasing so much spider guck. Ugh. Right? And so what will happen as humanity as a collective is in a position where it has enough energy and enough consciousness to bring this thing to look around at it directly. There will be a flu or some form of physical illness that becomes a complete and utter distraction. Your sixth chakra will be shut down. Your crown chakra will be shut down. Your bliss channel running up and down your body will narrow and constrict. The means to have new energy, life-sustaining energy coming into you from source, it will feel like someone is turning off your taps, and someone is. And so you need to have the resources to know first how to say, I'm sorry, I am a sovereign being, and you don't get to do that to me without my consent. I haven't given you my consent. And just being born on this planet through a vagina, having been gestated in a female womb and sac, that does not constitute permission. Doesn't. Long, and my YouTube channel was taken down in 2019, 2018. Okay, it was actually taken down. So now I'm building it back up, and this is the kind of information I had on my YouTube channel. I had like 400 videos, probably more than that, and I had 500,000 viewers. So you're going to find that there are other YouTubers who are on this path of at least having you ask great questions about the slave ship that you're on her laser space. Many of these individuals, because we're all around the world now, we're working together separately in our own locales, but we're working as a collective together in the higher levels and higher domains of the morphogenetic field. They are also having their accounts shut down. They are being targeted by AI. Okay, this is for real. And I'm smiling because I'm a happy person, but you know, I can't do another look. I wouldn't even begin to know how to make my face take those shapes again. They're being targeted physically. They're being targeted. Their businesses are being targeted. Their ability to advertise, to have people find them and subscribe, all this is being managed by Google's AI. So we need to understand what Google is, what Amazon is, what Facebook is. Okay? They're not your friends. We also need to wake up to what anything that says smart in its marketing, smartphone, smart refrigerator, smart car, is a joke that Thoth and Metatron and these ancient beings are laughing their asses off because they've learned if they slap the word smart on a product, ooh, human beings are going to run and go buy it because God knows they really want to be smart because they can't figure out what the hell's going on. These are just more chains for you. Energetic, psychological, emotional, mental chains. All right, your choice. So I wanted to share that with you. I will include a link to Saturday. I think I'll do it later in the day on the East Coast time. I'm not sure yet. I'm not going to tell you. Watch my channel, watch the videos, and then you'll have the information. Because if I announce it, give a date, give a time, the AI bots are going to do their best to disappear it. and or create technical conflict around it for you, not for me. I'm not subject to any of that stuff anymore. So I sit here before you, vulnerable, human, connected on so many levels. And I invite you to jump into the ocean of consciousness. Just jump the slave ship. I can help get you out of your chains. I can help. I can't free you. I can't unchain you. This is work we each have to take up individually because the information for each one of us is very old, very complicated, and it's a maze. It's actually a chord maze. And then if you've been in a chord maze this time of year, they're a big deal. That's why there's no one solution, no one answer for everyone. There are just some guidelines and some tools that will work. They won't work for everyone. So, like me, especially if you've been involved in the New Age movement in any serious way and have been through processes that have inserted things into your energy field, and you don't know what they are, you don't know how they work, but you're like, you go to I don't know, a healing practitioner, and that person may be using certain methodologies that will insert things into your field. It's great when they take stuff out, but watch out for the ones who are putting things in. All right, I think that's it for me. I've got other meetings and I need to do the card reading, but following this is a card reading that will have some relevance for you around this topic. Okay? And I'm not sure what it's going to be. But you know that I have an issue with my little hands with shuffling on camera. It's messy. It takes a very long time. And I don't have the time to do that with you. So at night when I'm tucked into my own little comfortable space and maybe I'm looking at some content online, or I'm not, or I'm listening to music, or I'm doing the card energy. I'm asking the questions then. And the cards show up in such beautiful and wonderful ways, and then I organize them and put them out according to the way that they have shown up. And then I look at what is the energy here? And I feel into the energy. All right. And I'll say again, my readings are not about your honey. They're not about your money. And they're not about your funny. Okay? All right. So just keep doing and the reading will follow. Love to you all. I really wish you well working through your Unforgiven Mother challenges. This is deep. This is deep. And I'll probably do another blog post in addition to this video because we have to have some insight and understanding around this, or we will not be able to free our voices, Divine Feminine. You will not be able to free your voice or completely come into sovereignty in your full sacred imagination and the full power of the word. That is your gift from source. Okay? All righty. I love all of you. You know that I've just been through this so many times, been doing this so long that I'm kind of, let's just get to the nitty gritty. Get our discernment going, begin our compare and contrast process, and ask questions. What is really going on here? Learn how to plug into your own guidance and know that that's going to be different for everyone. There's no one right way for that to happen. You are a unique individual. Cherish that. Cherish that. Respect that and love that. Okay. Reading.
Welcome to my channel. If you are a new visitor, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. If you've stopped by before, thank you very much for taking the time and for leaving a comment or a like or share. I really appreciate it. And if you're a subscriber, all sending subscriber love, because the messages, as they are known in the card reading community, the information that I share is quite different from other readings that you're going to encounter on YouTube. I approach my readings as jazz. I approach them from the point of view of feeling current energies. Very much an empath. I've been directly connected to Source, directly connected to Gaia for a long, long time. And I'm very grateful for those connections because they have gently and steadily and completely prepared me for each phase of growth and expansion, and each phase of contraction and having to take things apart within that are such a complete embedded process within this sacred union journey. So I am still processing energy and taking down the template within my own structure of the Unforgiven Mother, and this is, I don't think I've encountered more aggressive and completely toxic energy. I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky person. I don't tend to look at things on the dark side, but sometimes we have to look at things on the dark side. And I don't mean the dark side, the parts of us that are in balance between contraction and expansion and planting seeds and growing them. I mean the dark side of us that is holding negative intent toward our own bodies, our own histories, our own stories, our own families, our own lineages. So facing this negative intent is quite a journey. I don't want to characterize it as a battle, but it's quite an intense journey. And we all need to support each other and share information and offer as much as we can from our authentic process to others, and sharing in a way that is helpful and beneficial and brings in deeper, stronger connection to Source every single moment. Okay, so this is the reading that I said I would do. And I will attach it to the video that I created earlier. And I just want to share that I had I had done the shuffling and laid out another reading. And I really felt that it wasn't connected. I really felt that it was coming from some inauthentic place. And that it wasn't an authentic current energy translation that I could share. So I just scooped it up and took it down and cleared the energy and reshuffled the decks. And then I asked again. So what we have now is an interesting continuation of the story of the Unforgiven Mother, and once again, this is how the cards came out. Now here, if you've looked at the other reading, and I will put the link in so you can easily find it again, and it is on Patreon page. Here we have a transition from the first reading I did about the Unforgiven Mother. Here we have the heart of the sky, which is the galactic version of a healthy, life-sustaining Gaia, planetary energy. And here now the corn has aligned with her. The corn, her children, the corn, the fruit, the connection is now aligned with her. That's a really lovely shift. So I asked, who is helping neutralize and deconstruct the unforgiven mother at all levels of her expression? Galactic, universal, planetary, expressing through DNA into human biology and animal biology. I asked, who's helping with this? And how are we helping with this? So, the next card that came out in response to that question was the drum. How are we each helping take down the template, deconstruct and neutralize the template of the unforgiven mother? And we have the drum here, which when I asked and felt into this is about our heartbeat. And aligning our heartbeats, boom, 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 boom. Aligning with the heart of the sky, aligning with source energy, and expressing, allowing this energy to be the driving force of how we're coming out of our relationship and into a healthy place where we can live without being impacted by the unforgiven mother. So your heart, here we have the galactic, here we have the personal. Forgive my coughing because boy am I clearing out, I'm clearing out so much gunk right now. It's amazing. So I've been working with this drum and being connected to the heart of the sky and feeling the sounds and the sensations and the healthy connections in my own body. And today, I'm actually testing a couple of other essences because there are many essences that I've brought through. And I know they have a purpose and a value, but I don't necessarily know each one. I know several by heart. And so today I began working with Golden Flow, Heala, and was guided to use that in combination with Pro 2122, which is about clearing out old information from man-made vaccines, which are not organic to who we are. You keep the information that will protect your immune system, but you let go of the rest. So I'm in that kind of a clearing process, and it feels like, it's interesting, it feels like my face is being like a face, perhaps the face of the dark, unforgiven mother that's embedded in my etheric field and in my energy field. I feel as if that face there's energy and information working underneath that layer of distortion and is literally peeling that face from my authentic source self countenance face. So this has been so intense. So I would encourage you, and this is the drum is here to encourage you to go within and ask for a process or a ritual or an exercise or a body movement that you can find spontaneously within yourself. Spontaneously within yourself as a clear impulse. Not as a lesson, not as an instruction, not as me telling you what to do. The only being who should be at this point guiding you is coming from within, and you've got to make sure about the clarity of that information. So go within and ask about how you can express the drum within you as you're helping clear out this Unforgiven Mother template, and as you are aligned with the heart. Of the sky. Now next what came out was the moon, and I thought this was very interesting because we're going to be going into another new moon as part of the moon cycle, and I think this will happen very close to Halloween. And for those of you who are following astrology and planetary beings, when you come to this new moon, the information that I receive that I'm going to be working with is allowing my heart to be the drum, that awakens the moon, and aligns the moon in her power, making sure that none of her is trapped in the Unforgiven Mother, and that would be almost impossible. So we take this one step at a time. But the moon, if you can imagine that your heart, that your resonance of your heart can expand to the point organically where you can reach and touch and envelop the moon with your heart, the drumbeat of your heart, that would be one of the things that I'll be doing. You'll make your own decisions, but I'm going to be expanding to that degree. And I certainly want to do that before Halloween, because every form of energy is creating something. And so much of what is around us that we're unaware of, we're lending our unconscious energy to it, and we're creating things that when they show up in our world, we say like, I don't want that. Where the heck did that come from? Right? So there's a lot of exposure happening now. Things are coming out of the dark in so many ways, and we ourselves are coming more and more out of the toxic dark, not the nurturing, creative soil, dark soil in which we plant conscious intention. Very different dynamic. All right, so here we have that going on. The next, who's out? Who else is helping? We've got the drum and we have the rattle. Now, if you happen to have an actual drum, if you happen to have an actual rattle, then you can explore and play with these instruments and see how playing with these instruments put you in a vibration and an energy of being connected to the heart of the sky. And if you don't have a drum or an actual physical rattle, I suppose you could get one, but you can just put some beans in a glass jar and shake that, and that will give you the sound of a rattle. And you have your heartbeat, so you could, beat on your chest in time with your heartbeat, and use your other hand to rattle. Maybe you want to take a jar of corn seeds. That would be fun. And create a rattle with the intention of new, clear, clean, source-aligned growth. Okay. And this is about coming out of, so much of Western culture is about a system. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and here's your result. That energy is absolutely foundational to the unforgiven mother because she has no creativity. So she has to put everything into steps. And then she'll tell you, here are the steps and here are the correct steps. And this is how you do it. Which is different from someone who says, this is what I've experienced, this is how I worked this through. Here are my observations when I was in that process. Here's what may be helpful to you. Take it or leave it. Feel and listen into what resonates for you and take that and leave. Don't even absorb what doesn't resonate for you. And this is how you develop discernment. All right. So the next card that came out, it went this way. Corn, heart, drum, curse. And here now, we're actually getting a glimpse of the unforgiven mother, Spider Woman. Here's her representation symbolically. And if you have the unforgiven mother lineage on either side of your family or on both, that can happen too. Then the way your life unfolds may actually feel as if you have been somehow cursed. Now, one of the things that I really appreciate about this, the artwork on this card, is here you see a hand over this woman's mouth. She is not supposed to speak. She is not supposed to talk about the curse. She's to be silent and to suffer in silence and to keep sacrificing her life force in service of a curse that she's not conscious of, so she can't heal it. She can't transform it. And that's actually part of the intention of the unforgiven mother. Because if you were to heal that lineage and transform it, you will have surpassed her, and she would rather see you dead than having surpassed her in her abilities. This is very serious stuff we're talking about here. So here she is, she's showing up. This is the unforgiven mother. You can, she's saying, yep, I'm the curse. Here I am. I can't hide anymore. I'm being exposed. There's nowhere for me to run and hide. That's beautiful. That's the beginning of the transformation. Seeing and standing in intention and saying, this stops with me. In my energy field, in my life, in my family, this will stop with me. I will not pass this on to my children. Yeah. Okay. Oh. All right. Then we have out the crow. And the crow, in this reading, represents magic and the energy of magic, and black magic in particular. And the crow provides a support system for the curse. The crow is the spy. The crow is the one that's always looking. The crow is the one that's cocking its head from side to side. What are you doing? What are you thinking? Are you towing the line? Oh no? Well, okay, then we're going to use black magic on you to keep that hand over your mouth. So I would like us all to very much consider what is magic, how our systems have been tweaked so that we operate from the assumption that magic has power. Magic only has the power that has been given to it. And human beings have been giving practices of magic power for eons. So this is a very powerful energy, and it's a good sidekick for the curse. Because with the crow, you'll never wake up to the fact that you are being held in the web of Spider-Woman. You'll never become conscious of it, and magic will keep you distracted. There's all kinds of ways that magic shows up in our world. All right. So under the curse, we have completion. So for me in this reading, this card is letting us know that we have arrived on the point, on the circle of our own soul evolution, where we can bring this dynamic within us and within the collective. It's time to close this out. This unforgiven mother, the lineage, it's time to close it out. To neutralize it, to deconstruct it. So we have completion coming in, completion energy here, so supporting this journey. And then next we have the Holy Mountain. And if you'll remember from the other reading, the Holy Mountain was a place where the Divine Feminine she made a journey to the Holy Mountain to seek from her source, from her soul self, clear guidance on her path of transformation. So she went to the Holy Mountain. She's still engaging with the Holy Mountain. And at the energy of the Holy Mountain is all about the inner journey and, really literally deconstructing all of your non-organic being and tuning into the ancient ones and allowing them to help you recreate yourself in the image of Source Divine co-creation. Not in the image of God, but in alignment with Source Divine conscious co-creation. So here we have the ancient ones. When you come to the Holy Mountain, Divine Feminine, the ancient ones are there waiting to meet you, waiting to assist you. Not to tell you what to do, but to lay out a landscape before you in which you can clearly see what is happening and what your choices are. And there's always so many beautiful options to choose from. There's so many more than just two. Before we look at what is happening here on the healing and transformational aspect of the reading, let's look at what's going on. Okay, so we have, for the drum, we have the Ace of Cups. So yes, bring the love that you know is part of your life, giving and receiving. And allow this cup of love to include the experience of being comforted, because one of the things that I will write about in my blog post is that when we have in our lineage a mother who is along the lines of the Unforgiven Mother, the Spider-Woman, we've not known comfort in our lives unless our fathers were able to provide that. Now, for some of you younger people, millennials, you may have had that experience. But if you've been around from the 40s, and you've been dealing with the lineage of the Unforgiven Mother, 40s, 50s, 60s, even 70s, it began to change in the 70s. You have no experience of what it feels like to be comforted, truly comforted from a place of unconditional love. So this is part of what you're vibing with your heart drum. For the moon, we have the moon. But here you see a woman standing proudly as if she's a mistress of all of these forces of the moon in these phases. But here you have a young girl who's saying, you know what, I think I'm going to take a look and examine this on my own. I'm going to do it from a place of authenticity and self-reflection. And I'm not just going to pick up a practice because I've heard that it will do X for me or Y for me, right? I need to have direct experience. And so here she is, stepping in, supported by the heart of the sky, to take a look at what's up with this moon stuff. I want to know the truth. The truth is available to know. All right. Now, for the rattle, interestingly, we had the Hanged Man come out first. And I feel this is how many of us feel, so upside down, like we're living in an upside down reality. And it tries we might to pull ourselves up to gain a new perspective. We are entwined. So I'd like you to imagine this leafiness as a spider web. And the rattle is to help you feel in your own body system how you can vibrate yourself out of this kind of captivity. And then we have the magician, which I call in my readings the conscious co-creator, because he's working with the elements in a conscious way. Here we have the magician coming to help you cut away the spider webbing that you're entrapped in so that you can do your perspective shift and actually see what's going on within you and within your life and have more choices about who you are and who you are not. Okay. So I thought that was interesting. All right. Now for the curse, we have two cards that came to clarify. The first was the tarantula. This is her. I mean, take this tarantula and just imagine that that's the hand that's over her mouth. Yeah? And here we have the tower. So this is the situation of the inner work that you're doing is deconstructing this whole lineage. And it is a tower moment. And it's going to be very, very profound, very impactful. And I will warn you, you may do physical detoxing. You may find yourself getting sick. Because this is so unbelievably toxic. And imagine that we've been, kind of gestating in this toxic energy almost from the point of conception. Okay. So we have that, and we do have the tower coming in to assist. With the crow is showing up here as the one who helps to spin the webs of black magic. so that this person, this you is stuck in the center of that web, being preyed upon constantly, having your life force sucked out of you constantly by a system of consumption that's just circular. It's completely circular, but not in a good way. It's not a spiral. It's a circle. It's a closed circle. Just keep going round and round. The spider does, and you're stuck in the middle of the web, being eaten alive, and you don't even know it. Okay, so I want you to understand what's actually happening here. Most often, the crow, not always, but the crow will be masculine or feminine energy that are aligned with this, because the rewards of consumption feel like power to them. Okay. Pretty creepy. Well, this is going to move. I mean, for some of you, it may move really fast. For me, this has been really agonizingly slow getting through this, but I've been working on it since August. So with completion, now, we have the Judgment card. So we have sound coming in to deconstruct, to bring this to completion. All the black magic programs, the hidden, the hidden coding, the systems that are corrupt. Okay, here we are being supported by source creation beyond this space-time structure, helping us to understand what we're in and helping us to co-create our way out of it. With the Holy Mountain, we have the High Priestess, and then we have the Lovers. So, Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, it's not about gender. You're going to go to the Holy Mountain and reconnect with your living, alive energy, your life force energy, and in that process, you're going to reconnect with your ability to give and receive love. Not sexual love, not romantic love, not buy me a house love, but the pure, basic human being that, unfortunately, most of the time you show up with that quality of love when there's a crisis or a tragedy. Lots of people can dig in then and find that in themselves. Why wait for that? Why not offer that to your world? Why hold that into yourself? When you're connected with Source and you're connected to Gaia, you're not going to run out of love. There's an inexhaustible supply. It is the fifth element of creation. So you go to the Holy Mountain, and many of us are on this journey. I'm certainly on this journey right now, man. And this is, as I said before, it's kicking my butt. My face is being peeled off. Yo! Now, with the ancient ones, we have the dragon energy. And the dragon energy is part, long time ago, there was a group of dragons that was aligned with Source creation, and there are still dragon energies that are aligned with Source creation, and they're also a lineage. And what this dragon energy can do is help you see this for what it is and open you into the expansion that will not only allow you to see it and feel all the feelings around recognizing that's you trapped in the center of a web, but it will also help you see how the ancient ones are providing and working with you so that you can come out of this dynamic and be liberated from it. And then also, for the ancient ones, at a mundane level, at your level of 3D or 5D life, in this dynamic of transformation, and you are clearing yourself of your, yeah, I'm going to say it, clearing yourself of your unforgiven mother lineage, you are brought in a new wand of fire energy, which you're going to need, because by now, your life force may be dwindled down to almost nothing. Depends on how long you've been dealing with this and how much of your starfire has been consumed, or how much you're consuming just to take care of yourself. And you're not allowing any, new energies can come in for you. So it's feeling pretty, dismal right now. And you may be in a lot of pain, physical, emotional, psychological, as you're clearing through this. But here we have the star, which is about healing. So you have a new fire coming in to help give you the energy to manage getting out of this mess consciously. You have the sun. The outcome will be the sun. That you will have, all this will lead to an incredible blossoming of you as the new human, Anthropos 11, awake and aware of who you are within the divine source creation. All right. I'm sorry I'm moving slowly, but it is what it is. It's taking a tremendous amount of energy for me to even talk about this, because I am being pushed every second to shut my mouth. Now, for the heart of the sky, we have the Empress here. And this is beautiful because this is you, divine feminine, in all your queenly wisdom. When you're in the Empress mode, you are Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords, and Queen of Earthly Seeds, Pentacles. So at a personality level, you may begin to feel this kind of connection, and you may begin to relax just a little bit. And you may begin to notice that you're being interacted with in a more respectful way, that people are not treating you as if you have no value, or you're invisible, or you're their personal pet, or their personal refrigerator to go in and out of and take your starfire and consume it and leave you with an empty fridge. You may notice these changes beginning to happen, and you may notice that you're going to start moving with a different rhythm of time, because you're feeling very connected and very stable, and you're becoming stronger and stronger. All right. Now, coming out to clarify the corn, yes, here we have the Nine of Cups. And here you are, divine feminine or divine masculine, because both of you can have this unforgiven mother lineage operating in your family. You may have married a woman who has this lineage in her life running through her energy system, and it's been a very challenging, difficult situation. And at this point, you have come to realize that you are accountable and responsible for what you create in the world. But you are aware that there's more love, more abundance that isn't attached to being a consumer. And you're feeling this, and the children of the corn are now ready, through the drumbeat of their heart, to bring in new energies. You don't have to make these energies. These energies already exist, so that you can experience the 10 of Cups. Complete joyful fulfillment at being a human being. It's not about possessions. It's not about money. And this is a hard lesson to have to learn, because the unforgiven mother will convince you that it's all about stuff. It's all about stuff. And she's going to give you stuff, and then when you get older, you're going to give her stuff, and you're going to continue in this awful circular spidery dance. So here we have all of us small, wonderful, delightful humans stepping up and saying, yes, I understand what's going on here, and I know there's more, and I'm ready to receive it. Now, what's the outcome here when we do this work? I'm I'm sort of feeling some new flows trickling in, but wow, to allow yourself to open to these new energies so they can flow in and free you and heal you and sustain you and build you up and fill you out in source creation, not as an object being consumed. This is a fool's journey. And so when you come into this dynamic, you may find that there will be people in your life who will think that, you know, you've just frickin' gone crazy. But you have to discern for yourself what your own truth is and what flow of energy you want moving through your life. We are all physically finite, but physically finite doesn't mean that there's nothing left of us when our bodies die. So this is a good time to get onto this path so you can recognize the flows that are eternal, that will always be there for you, and there for you now. Now, the other outcome, here we have the rainbow, and if you remember in the first reading, this energy, along with the arrow, was moving right at right at the sorcerer. Well, this is all being handled now on this side of the dynamic, and so now the rainbow is free to move with flow, and it's free to move with speed. So you're going to come into this sense of opening flows that are going to feel very different and probably very good physically, emotionally. And this is something that can move quickly into your life once you come out of this mess, right? So, I mean, look at this, taking this apart, and imagine all of these threads being transformed back into neutral light and love energy, and all of that happening very fast, and an exchange of information and understanding of consciousness coming out of duality. Here you are. You've got your comprehension of duality as an illusion. You have that well in hand. You're heading straight for the rainbow energy, which for some of you will be the 5D rainbow bridge. That's beautiful. Now, lastly, we have coming in here the Tree of Life, which for me represents Source. As Source has given permission for human DNA to be expressed. And I emphasize the word permission, because when we move into conscious co-creation, we recognize that we just can't go willy-nilly and do something just because we feel like it or we might like it. We actually have to ask. If I move forward with this, is it beneficial to all of creation, not just beneficial for me? We're not used to asking that. Now, clarifying the Tree of Life, we have the Emperor, the Queen of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. This is the transition that we're in. King of Cups, and the Hermit. So we're going within, we're reaching into our own DNA, and we're understanding. You could think of this as, you know, father's parents, mother's parents, right? And now you're looking at your lineage, and you're asking great questions, and you're feeling what's happening for you and what you're becoming aware of. Yeah, I'm just dealing with a kind of, seems like an infinite supply of gunk as this pattern is clearing. All right. Now, we have some other cards here that are confirmations for this reading. Yeah, this is a reading for the Twin Flame Collective, because working with the heart of the sky and the corn and the flow and the rainbow and the Tree of Life, this is the mission work that we're on. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And here we have the unicorn, which the unicorn for me, while it's supposed to be a mystical creature, it represents a connection to Earth's elementals, to the fairies and the fairy kingdom, and the elementals that actually are beings, water, fire, earth. We are the fifth element. We are the beings of love. And so I feel that we also have help coming to assist us in this process from the elementals, the atomic, molecular level of how all of our elements are put together here. And that for me is symbolized by the unicorn. So I'm going to put that here with the Tree of Life, because not only humans, it's just not humans who are working on this. Many of you are noticing changes in your animals. You're noticing dramatic changes in your animals, and you can see and feel and experience their consciousness expanding in a way that you might not be able to describe. And we have the whale. And like the unicorn, I feel this is an amazing alliance of the depth of consciousness that is assisting us with this problem. One of the difficult ways that can take a whale down and swimming freely in the ocean is that it runs into netting. And for me, the kind of netting that will take a whale down a beautiful consciousness and kill it is just another version of this. So the whales, there's still enough of them, there's still enough of their consciousness here to be assisting us as we're ascending. Thank you, whale friends. Thank you, elemental friends. All right, I want to see if there's any specific clarification in here that is aligned with Divine Masculine? Okay, here we have the sun again. So that's beautiful, Divine Masculine. You're bringing your clear, beautiful solar self, your divine self, into this process, and you're helping. And I'm going to put that between flow and fool and rainbow and the chariot. Okay, cards. Okay, fairies. Is there anything else you want to add to this? Of what happens when I shuffle. Here we have out He of the Fiery Sword, which is this beautiful, powerful energy, totally enlightened, connected, empowered, masculine energy. And I feel that this is part of bringing in the rattling of the system. The system needs to be rattled because the system is entirely caught up in spellbinding and lies and chaos and corruption at the organizational level, at the system level, at the human level. You know, we're just trying to get to our 10 of Cups. But at the system level, over which we feel we have no control, the Divine Masculines are starting to shake the rattle. They're starting to, especially the younger ones, they're coming at the system and going, you know, I see you for what you are. And I have the power and the light and the love to shake this system up and bring it into realignment. So I think that's really beautiful, coming in to help get this hangman upright and empowered, no longer confused, seeing things for what they really are. Okay, I'm going to ask if there's anything else, but this feels like it's complete for me. And but I like to give the cards an opportunity because I'm translating their current energies. Now let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, we have She of the Kruak here on the bottom of the deck. And for me, this is the empowered elemental connection to the heart of the sky. This is beautiful. Very powerful feminine energy. Okay, cards, fairies, do you have anything else that you want to share? Whoa, what do we got? That's quite a lot. Oh, they're so much fun, aren't they? We have unity here. Yep, we have unity. That's going to go here. Children of the Corn have unity. We have the Fawn here, which is a beautiful, gentle, as well as powerful expression of masculine energy in partnership. And I'm going to put this right next to Baby and He of the Fiery Sword, the Sun, okay? Then we have the Journeyman. So here we have, in terms of the Divine Union, we have the Fool essentially out for both sides of the union, masculine and feminine, who are bringing in the flow. And then we have Nelis, the Alchemist. Woo! I'm feeling a lot of energy moving in right now. This is beautiful. We have Nelis, the Alchemist, and she is directly working on the human level with, because the crow You can also recognize the magician as the narcissist because it's all about what he wants. And here's Elise, the alchemist, helping us right? Get back into unity. Regain our connection to the heart of the sky. And open to the energy and the wisdom of the ancient ones. So this card is, in this deck is, for me, is the narcissist. It's very much the black magician who is only concerned with what he wants and what's good for him. And there are some divine masculine energies. We all know we've been identifying the dynamic of narcissism in ourselves and in our families and in our lineages and in our mates. So once we open up into this looking at the Unforgiven Mother, the Spider Woman, this is going to be a terrific ride because this is happening at a galactic level. You may experience it directly as a personality, but we're now seeing it as global interactions. It's happening at a galactic level. And this is why it's so intense to clean this out of your microcosm. Yeah? Okay. All right, thank you for watching. I am going to do a live stream on Saturday afternoon. That's this coming Saturday. I think I'm going to do it at 4 o'clock Eastern. That gives people on the West Coast an opportunity to come. And it gives people across the pond who might be interested in an opportunity to come. It'll be later in the evening for them, but it'll be a Saturday night, and maybe that will work out for them. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just going to do it. And if I'm the only one who shows up, then I'm the only one who shows up. Okay, so lastly from my own deck of guidance cards, let's see if there's anything. That's too many. Let me just, for fun, see what they came up with. Oh my. Oh dear. Oh lordy. All right, I have to take these. This is what, see, this is why I don't, I mean, this is what happens when I shuffle it. The cards just can't wait to talk. First card out is Earth. The next card out is Regenerate Now. Yeah. Open up your heart and the drum that is your heartbeat. Sharing. It's beautiful. This is sharing time and the gifts of the ancient ones. Trust the process of your journey to the Holy Mountain and your journey of completion. Trust this process and your contribution to it. Merge within. Merge within. I'm going to put merge within down here with your lineage, both sets of parents. And then lastly, we have DNA lights up. So I mean, really, you watch the cards fall out. See, this is what I think. People think, oh, she cheats. I don't cheat. I just take, this is how it happens. And when you come and you see that I've got the cards, like this is exactly how these cards get to be laid out, because I ask a question and the cards, the current energies want to share what the information is that they have for us right now. So at the flow level, at the rainbow bridge level, right? Your DNA is lighting up. And going through this process will absolutely clean up any dead light that's in your system. And just know that the physical purging may be very, very dynamic. Like I said, I haven't had anything like this in years. Really in years. Last time I had this come into my life, I'm thinking about that. When was the last time I felt this much on the verge of an opportunity to clean up a lot of old stuff? And boy, did it come right after that, man. Bam. So that's something for me to take under consideration. All right, but there you have it. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you Saturday. Okay, 4 o'clock Eastern Time, live stream on the YouTube. I'll figure out how to do it. Okay, take good care. Bye for now.